So I've been a superstar, and I got paid for what I knew, and I shared the game with them. So much guidance. That's what I did. They paid for knowledge.
Salutations, family, and welcome back to Ride Along with the Storm. Family, I noticed here in society recently that we have a large contingency of the population who thrive on enmity, who thrive on the idea of people being their enemies. And you see it all the time in social media. You see people talking about having enemies, or what we've come to classify them as now as haters. People who exhibit jealousy, or who we think have come into our lives to bring negative energy. And we think that these people come out of nowhere, when that's the furthest thing from the truth. The truth is, family, the moment that you fear, you set up self-opposition. The moment you accuse anyone of anything, you're creating enmity. And when you understand that this fear and enmity that you harbor both mentally, consciously, and subconsciously, you understand that this enmity has to be manifested. And oftentimes, it's manifested in the person of a lot of these people that come into your life in a negative situation. Oftentimes, we see a family on social media all the time. We see people, and usually it's the same people. They're always talking about how people are jealous of them, how people are their haters, how people are hating on them. But these people don't just pop out of thin air. These people are manifestations of a deep down self-enmity that you have for yourself. And these people are being manifested by your conscious or your subconscious thoughts of self-opposition. When you look at it, family, one of the real popular lines that became popular through a hip-hop song, and it spilled over into people using the quote in social media, and it's very cliche. It says, if you don't have no haters, you ain't popping. It's actually, if you don't got no haters, you don't have any self-opposition. Right now, when you understand how the law of vibration works, family, energy can never be destroyed. Whatever energy you put out, that energy will manifest and automatically come back to you. So when you see people constantly talking about they have enmity with people, and they have haters and people who are jealousy of them, that's really their subconscious self-thoughts and their self-opposition. You have a lot of people who right now in their life, they deal with self-opposition and self-sabotage on a daily basis. It's constant and it's repetitive, family. The people in our experience are compelled by our accusations and our condemnations. So when you understand what you're dealing with, family, when you're dealing with people who come into your life, and these people manifest as haters and they manifest as detractors and people being jealous of you, it's actually only your negative mental picture, consciously or subconsciously. And these people are really self-opposition. It's actually what you're drawn to what's being drawn to you, and what gravitates to you is actually your own negative self-image that you have of yourself, and you're inviting this negative energy to come into your life. It's also seen in the universal law of reciprocity. And you often see it, family, in social media. You see people make posts and create innuendos where they speak on certain situations, and they have people in their inner circles, or people they consider to be acquaintances or friends, that become offended by these posts. And a lot of times it's an old cliche that a hit dog will always holler, but a lot of times it's self-opposition. You putting out negative energy into the universe, and that negative energy must manifest itself in a certain way. So a lot of times you're going to create people who are basically your enemies through enmity, and through basically creating haters through the manifestation of your subconscious thought. A lot of times, family, you have to walk through this life with a clear conscience and a clear mind frame to only manifest positivity, especially when you're dealing with other individuals, or you're dealing with the proximity that you have to other individuals. You have a lot of people that love to think that they're their importance in life or their self-worth is dependent on how many haters or how many people are jealous of them through their material possessions. But see, that's a shortcoming on the behalf of the person who's the subject of the ayah or the enmity. When you understand the current zeitgeist we live in, it's a social media driven society right now. We have a lot of people who are consumed with likes and people giving them social validation, giving them validation, whether it be their economic status, whether it be their material possessions, whether it be their physical appearance. They are obsessed with the validation of other people. But family, when you look at it, the validation of others only goes so far when you're not satisfied with what you have inside or what you have internally. And when you understand your internal makeup, self-validation is the most important thing you can have, family. And when you start dealing with self-opposition, you're dealing with a lack of internal happiness and internal validation that you can receive from yourself. And it goes back to my video about having a positive internal or mental self-picture or high self-esteem for oneself. A lot of times this self-opposition, it manifests itself in a myriad of ways, family. It can manifest itself in substance abuse. You have a lot of people who like to sabotage themselves with alcoholism, with drug abuse. They backslide a lot of times because they don't think that they're worthy of having the best things in life. You see a lot of people who are drawn to toxic relationships with toxic people because they don't believe they deserve love, or they don't think they deserve to be in a loving, caring relationship. So they become the saboteurs of their own relationships, of their own life. And this is basically self-opposition, family. Is you becoming a saboteur and sabotaging your own life, family. And that's just is what it is. I want to thank you, family, for joining me on this episode of Ride Along with the Storm. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join me here for every episode of Ride Along with the Storm. I thank y'all again, family. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.